getting a long-term booking at, especially during like lockdown, and just it's just amazing. Like even me being in property for a year now, I've experienced a lot of things, from like again, like taking on properties in area like Canary Wharf in prestigious areas, and going to events, building connections and speaking at events as well. It's just feel like it's more use of my time rather than just doing nothing.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this video. So, firstly, the world's youngest Airbnb short-term rental operator, no doubt. This guy started his journey at 15 years old, and today I've had a pleasure and an honor of working with him to build his brand. And this interview is really special because knowing that he's the youngest guy who's invested on himself, invested in a business, a short-term rental business that a lot of people dream of, and has done now really well, securing his first ever 31 nights booking, working with myself. Look, it's an amazing interview. I'm gonna let it roll, and please make sure you hit a like for this guy. Make sure you give him loads of positive feedbacks and enjoy the interview. Guys, welcome to another video, a very, very special video here. I think a lot of people who is in the UK and remember this guy. I think most of the people know who he is, but I think today he's here to share his journey. I think it's very, very important. And I'm going to tell you who he is, but all I describe him as is he's the youngest short-term rental Airbnb operator in the UK, or maybe even in the world right now, right? So, Kabir, welcome to this client interviews. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. It's just the feeling of like, getting a long-term booking at, especially during like lockdown, and it's just amazing. Like, sick feeling. Yeah, it's amazing.
Good. I mean, we're going to talk about your first ever long-term booking, but also I think today's video. Look, tell the viewers. There'll be people. I've got people watching from America at the moment. I've got Australian viewers as well. I want them to know who you are and what you do, and especially when you started your Airbnb business.
Yeah. So, my name's Kabir. I'm 16 at the moment. I started when I was 15 years old in service accommodation or short-term rental. So a year ago from now, and I did my first like deal in property at age 15. But that was set up different. It wasn't that I took on a unit. I like sourced it onto an investor. But I started out when I was 15. I took on my first SA apartment at 16, 4 months ago. And I guess it's just been it's been a crazy journey so far. Like
Wow. Yes, and we know that, look, this isn't a normal interview, I call it, because I've sat down with a lot of people, short-term rental owners in the country, and generally there are people who are a lot older than you, and they have a lot of background around business or backup and stuff. Now look, today I really want to put this real. Why did you start all this? Like, you were 15. Like, what was your brain thinking when you were 15 years old? Because not a lot of people who's 15 would think about this.
To be honest with you, I don't know. It was just that I didn't want to continue school because it just seemed like boring, and it's kind of like, I don't want to do this for like another 5 years or whatnot, because it was already boring. And I was like, yeah. And then I found out about property, and I thought, wouldn't that be cool to like take on units and design them, and then like, I don't know, just do something in property. Basically, I found school boring, so I wanted to do something else, which basically had nothing to do with like school and all that, like boring stuff. And that's how I initially.
Good. Okay, so you're more passionate about trying to just do something else apart from studying, and that was the route that you wanted to take. Why did you get? Because there's so much things going out there in the market, especially you young guys at the moment have
access to YouTube, you know, all this Google, Instagram. You see a lot of people doing a lot of different stuff. Why did you choose short-term rental or Airbnb business?
Yeah, so the reason I chose short-term rental was, number one, it was because I thought the idea could be fun. Like,
Yeah.
and the short-term rental business doesn't have to be boring white walled apartments. It can be
Yeah.
like some cool, like themed apartment. It could be some like different weird, and that kind of like idea that you can design it wherever you want for your
Yeah.
guests. That's it drove me into short-term rental. And
Cool.
yeah, it is fun, you know, designing apartments and just
Yeah.
creating it, and seeing guests enjoy the service as well.
Yeah, sure. And one of the things, you know, a lot of people don't know about you is you've got a special unit. You really have, right? It's very quirky. We'll leave some pictures in this video as well, but you've got some really quirky setup, which really stands out. Then, like, let's talk, I mean, let's put it this way. Short-term rental, where you've invested, there must be over thousands of operators because you're literally in the city right now, you know, in the London. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have a massive competition there.
Yeah.
You're 16 years old trying to think completely different than all this 1,000 operators. So that's amazing. Look, what is your biggest why? Why did you, because it takes nicely into why you started, but what, you know, what is your biggest why? Why are you starting business at 15 years old when you shouldn't be?
Yeah. I don't know, it was just like, you know, you're here for like this amount of time. Right?
Yeah.
It's just like, well, I want to make the most of it, and I feel like, you know, it's like, I don't know, just like sitting in a classroom for 10 years, it's not, I feel like it's just a waste of time. It's not really, you don't really get to experience life, and like being in property or even in just business itself, it allows you to experience life or like more things. Like even me being in property for a year now, I've experienced a lot of things, you know, from like, you know, again, like taking on properties in area like Canary Wharf, you know, prestigious areas, and going to events, building connections and speaking at events as well. It just, yeah, it's just feel like it's more use of my time rather than just, I guess, doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah, and I think this is going to relate. Listen, this is going to relate to a lot of people because you know our viewers might be a lot older than you, and they must be thinking, "Wow, this kid is something special." But at the same time, I think we appreciate you being you and actually doing the things you've learned, taking time away to do the normal stuff that, or not doing the normal stuff that a normal 15-year-old kid want to do because you've just gone and invested time on. I know you because you've invested a lot of time on yourself. You've invested a lot of time in networking with people, and that is amazing. So listen, today what I want to talk about is we've now secured. Obviously, you and I we've worked for nearly 2 months now, and I want to put all this aside of getting long-term booking. Let's just think about, I think, the toughest period we've had together because you were getting leads pretty much every 10 days of this long-term booking. Yeah?
Yeah.
It's just a lead.
Yeah.
So talk about this because there's loads of people who wants to get long-term leads or maybe direct booking or use a platform to price it. What happened in your journey? Because when we started, you've had no brand presence. You've got literally no long-term leads at all. So let's take it 4 weeks back. What happened?
When I set up my unit first on Airbnb, one thing, and I know you may remember this, is that I accidentally set it up as shared space.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't know that. I thought it was set as like full apartment, but it's only when you were actually looking through the listing, you noticed that and you said, "Wait a minute, it's unshared accommodation."
It's an entire property. It's not a shared room.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah. Because I was like, yeah, at the start there was like no like inquiries or like anything. I was like, what's happening? Like, why am I getting like not even one like stay inquiry? And then you messaged me saying your listings on shared accommodation. I was like, oh, well, I feel like that's the good thing about having someone there. If you weren't there, that mistake would have still probably been there, but I didn't know that. I thought it was entire apartment listed like that.
So you're effectively, for viewers who's watching this, by the way, it's Kabir had his listing live in a platform, forgetting that he completely put shared rather than the entire property that he hosts. So effectively, as a result of that, when people searched you and they wanted the entire place as an option, you were not found because your settings was wrong. So so that's the early days. Obviously, when we first onboarded you, we started doing the work. Then the first week we did the change.
So I actually did start getting long-term inquiries. I remember the first one was a 28-night one. And I remember when that inquiry came through, I was getting hyped and like, yo, blah, blah. But yeah, it didn't turn out to be a booking. It was just an inquiry. And then I think another one followed through, a 31-night one followed through, but it didn't turn to a booking. And then third one was a 67-night one, but that didn't turn into a booking. And at that point, I was kind of like, for example, when what do you call it? When the actual booking came in, and I saw 30 nights, but I didn't see the guest paid. Like, I didn't get excited because I was kind of in my head. I was like, oh, it's probably an inquiry.
Hold on a second, Kabir. That's the funny thing. You can't say that. You were not excited of bloody getting leads. Man, you are so used to long-term leads, aren't you now?
Yeah. Because at the start, when I got the 28-night one, I was excited as hell. I was like, running around.
I know.
The second one, I was still excited, but then like third-ish kind of, I was like, yo, and then when this one came in, I didn't scroll down and I didn't see guest paid until later. I just saw 30 nights. I didn't feel excited. I was like, probably just another inquiry. And then I scrolled down and guest paid, and that's what happened.
Brilliant. But listen, I think one of the things a lot of viewers want to know is, look, there's enough people out there operating service accommodation or short-term rental business, and they never get leads like what you get every single week, you see? So, I mean, for you now, you feel quite normal that you're attracting longer leads, and effectively those long-term leads, you're not converting them, but the first thing is you're getting those leads. That's the first step. Because prior to this, when we onboarded you, you never used to get those leads. Your platform some of the platform worked okay for you, but never did get you those leads. But now you're constantly in front of those customers' eyes who are looking to book you long term. So, I mean, what was the feeling like when you secured that first? Well, I know because I got the text straight away, but when did you realize it was a paid guest?
So I was lying in bed. I was lying in bed and I was about to go to sleep actually. And my phone's at like the end of the bed. And I hear like a notification sound. So, and I think, it's probably like Facebook or some other platform. But I just check it randomly. So I get up, I check it, and I see an email notification. And it says Airbnb, and it has my title, and it said 13th to like 16th. But I didn't see the date. All I saw was February, so I thought, it's just another like 2-night booking. And I wasn't upset, but I was kind of like, just 2-night booking kind of thing. So I just went on the Airbnb app. I was going to text the guest, what's the reason for this stay, blah, blah. But then I saw March. So I clicked on details and I saw 30 nights. Now, again, I didn't get excited because I was already getting inquiries for like long term. So I was kind of like, it's another inquiry. But then I see, I scroll down and I see guest paid. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then I see confirmed and I'm kind of like mid happy, mid like confused. I'm like, wait, does this mean like he's gonna stay for 30 nights now because he paid also? So there, I take screenshots and then I send it to you. I'm like, yo, look, someone booked and it says paid, and you were like, it's confirmed and that. I was
that is brilliant. Look, I think the main thing we want to talk about today is you've had an incredible journey of starting it. You've invested in yourself heavily. You've been trained to do Airbnb and short-term rental. You've now invested on building your brand. Look, why talk about just the process that you're going through right now? Because a lot of viewers, for what you are as an age 16 years old, give some feedback to people who's watching, and it doesn't matter what age and stuff it is, you've actioned stuff. So look, if there was one thing that you want to give away that you felt over this process, what would that be?
Over this process, to be honest, I'd say marketing is very important. Because when I first like got into this business, and don't get me wrong, people told me about marketing and, oh, you need to get direct bookings and blah blah, but it was kind of just there. It was kind of like, oh yeah, like kind of like it was kind of there. I wasn't really focused on that, but what I realized, like, just setting up my first unit, it was like, damn, marketing is it can change your just entire business in terms of getting bookings, and just, I guess, yeah, just because I guess it's just marketing is, I think a lot of people, you spend a good amount of money on marketing and get yourself like knowledgeable, or maybe just like go on like, again, consultancies like yours, because I think that's the thing which can make you, I guess, one of the best in your areas, and also it helps you survive and even thrive during like the times where it's like lockdown and people are stressing out about, oh my god, I'm going to get bookings or not, and stuff like that. So I feel like I should have invested in my marketing way before. As soon as I picked up the keys, I should have invested, but I guess I learned that. But
yeah, absolutely. And it's fair to say, like you said, that we are still in lockdown, February 2021, and let's be honest, the country is in lockdown. We're not in a normal market. The business is still wanting to survive, and a lot of people and I get messages every day right now where people go, how do I get long-term bookings, or how do I secure those long-term booking using direct booking or any other platforms? At the end of the day, we need to make sure we are in front of customers' eyes the way we want them to be, right? So obviously, it's been an exciting journey for us to work with you, Kabir, because it's, for me, knowing that you are the world's literally youngest Airbnb short-term rental provider in the best part of the country, as also the world. Look, you've got miles to go. I think the process has given you confidence, that's for sure, that you know what to do and how to do it right. But look, I always say this to finish off the interview. Why is brand builder important for people who are watching this for short-term rental business? Why is it so important?
No matter where you are in your journey with 1 unit or maybe 5 units or maybe 15 units, I feel like it's a must. It's not something where you're like, oh, I might do it. I feel like it's a must, especially nowadays. I feel like it's not something you should be like, oh yeah, I may do it, or blah blah. I feel like it's something that everyone should do. No matter who you are, you should do it 100%. Because I feel like, again, during this time, I've seen a lot of SA operators give back units in my area. A lot of SA operators in other areas, not being able to get bookings and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm so glad that I do into a consultancy, because I can't imagine where the hell I would be right now. I'd be stressing out, like, yo, what am I doing wrong, blah blah. But I feel like, no matter who you are, where you have units, I feel like it's a must-have rather than just something I may do it. And I feel like lockdown's taught us that. I feel like a lot of people were kind of just winging it and not really investing in marketing and stuff like that. And it really shows.
No, brilliant. Well, great share, mate. Thank you so much for taking time out doing it. I'm sure people watching out there in different part of the world will really appreciate you working hard as a young lad and really taking advantage of what surrounds you. That's very important. And I've been honored to be a part of your journey. I must say, working with you, showing you stuff, and to get you results. That's what we wanted to do. We've been talking about 28 nights booking or longer bookings, but now we've achieved that. It's a great feeling. Look, what we've done for you is going to stay there forever. So this is only a start of your journey, and we wish you all the best. My team was absolutely, when I actually told them that you were 16 years old, they were absolutely shocked. But look, thank you so much for taking time out doing this interview. How can people find you?
I'm on Facebook. That's Kabir Habibah, my full name. And then Instagram, my full name with underscore. And then I'm on LinkedIn and YouTube.
Look, what we'll do is
blog.
we'll put your link down below on here. So if people want to contact you, ask you some question about short-term rental and stuff, feel free. I'll leave the link down below so they can contact you as well. All right.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking time out, mate. Wish you all the best for future.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me on.
I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, the world's youngest short-term rental and Airbnb operator, knowing that he's done so well for himself, you know, invested such nicely and actually taking really good moves for his business. He's not about, you know, growing a lot of portfolio, but what he's done in this short space of time is took a lot of action, took branding and marketing to an extent where he knows that he's constantly getting those 30 nights leads. And you know, he's actually in world's one of the prestigious location running a Airbnb short-term rental business. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you've got any questions, please comment down below or send me a message. I'm going to leave my link down below for my calendar as well. And I would love to see you back in another video.